Welcome back to the Honour Respect and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And of course, it's a big show of Dynamite today because it is the Grow Home before AEW Grand Slam. And yeah, lots going on. We got title matches, we got the final build towards the cards. So yeah, like I say, there is a lot going on. And we started things off with an international championship match. Ray Phoenix defending his newly won belt against Jeff Jarrett. Of course, Ray Phoenix winning it last week. Bit of dodgy circumstances, and yeah, this one, was it the best match to start things off? I'm probably going to say no. It was kind of overbooked with 2 stars that couldn't be more different. In some ways it was a nice transition, but it was a definition of 2 wrestlers being on different pages, and it showed us, did the hints of a potential knee injury suffered by the champion. If that was the case, it's kind of understandable maybe why things didn't go that way, and it should be applauded for the effort. It wasn't a showcase, but I think, 2 characters in decent ways. It kind of did its job in a weird way, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think Ray was always going to retain here, but yeah, it's kind of intriguing how it went. But in the latest, in a cameo between Adam Cole and MJF, Paul White showed up, and the Devil admitted he was almost caught throwing a guy overboard on here before, which was a very funny segment. Yeah, funny twist, I do have to say. Before it was time for Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita to hit the ring for a promo, introducing the newest member of the Don Callis family, which is of course Sammy Guevara. The trio aired footage of a sneak attack on Takeshita on Kota Ibushi before the Spanish God issued words of warning for Jericho ahead of his trios match at Wrestle Dream. That will pit the heels and Will Ospreay against the Ocho, Ibushi and Omega. This felt like a promo segment we got on Rampage, and we probably could have been relegated to a quicker backstage vignette with Callis voicing over Ibushi's attack. There was nothing inherently wrong with it, but the segment did nothing to build it on, and yeah, kind of just felt like it's just there to build it up, add some time, just felt necessary, but I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe the time could have been better used. But moving on then to a 3-way blind eliminator. Nick Jackson versus Brian Cage versus Cody and Castagnoli. Nick Jackson picking up the win here. Like the opener, it's a clash of stars here, but unlike the last one, I think it really worked. Jackson and Castagnoli worked together with half the ferocity of Cage with a nice touch, as well as babyfaces stealing the win from his bigger opponents. As Excalibur pointed out on commentary, there's a rich history with Jackson and Phoenix dating back 4 years ago. As ridiculous as Jackson's single from claims, unless you're an unabashed fan of the Young Bucks, it at least makes sense that they would compete against each other on this landmark show. So yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, a really solid show. A really solid match, sorry. I think Jackson, yeah, putting himself over. But when you look at all the men involved, it was bound to be a really, really solid match. Before the revelation was revealed by Adam Cole that he will require surgery on his broken ankle and torn ligaments, that may have brought a disappointing end to his work between him and MJF, but we quickly found out what awaits AEW World Champion next as Jay White stepped up. After revealing he will defend the ROH World titles by himself on Saturday, MJF tore White apart verbally before the Bullet Club Gold leader responded, insinuating that he'll be taunting MJF from afar and now wants the World Championship. The write-off as Cole, as he went to assist, pleading Roderick Strong and segue into the MJF White feud was done well, and this one was made a far better segment than it's supposed to be. And yeah, MJF v White is going to be a bang match when it takes place, but if nothing else is accomplished in this program, just give us MJF and Juice Robinson, because that will be interesting. But yeah, gutted for Adam Cole. I think, yeah, just terrible luck with injuries, and hopefully we can get back to it when his injury ends. But yeah, hopefully he's not out for too long. MJF defending the title on his own kind of just shows how far he's come, doesn't it? It was then time for Orange Cassidy versus Matt Jackson versus Penta versus Austin Gunn. The Lucha Bros, the Young Bucks and the Guns, and a duo of Cassidy and Hook will compete at WrestleDream for the shot at the tag titles. Wednesday represented a man from each team in non-stop action. Back saw Jackson look to replicate his brother's success on the night, but ended up Cassidy picking up the win with an orange punch. It was the right call for Freshly Squeezed to pick up the win here, in my opinion. He and Hook are the least experienced team. Cassidy's win allowed them to build some momentum ahead of the bout. This was also certainly eliminates them from actually winning something like, but there aren't many who were kind of expecting a match between them and MDR at the same time, I don't think. So yeah, not too surprising, I have to say. But yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10. I thought, for what it was decent. Cassidy getting the win, right decision. And yeah, I think that match should be really good when you double it on Saturday. But moving on then to Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart. Julia Hart continued her 17-month unbeaten streak with a Willow Nightingale win. The 21-year-old continued her run, ensuring a TBS title match against Chris Statlander, with momentum also coming onto her side. It would be nice to see Hart appearing to have an in-ring competitor more consistently over the last 17 months, but the way she's heating up nicely ahead of the match kind of shows that I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. It's nothing else, it's a story that's based on the facts and gives the gravity to what initially looked like a random matchup. And yeah, for me, I have to say I am very much looking forward to it. I think, yeah, will definitely be an intriguing match. So yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Moving on into the main event kind of segment. It was Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland accomplished in the weeks leading into WrestleDream. Was so good that there were heightened expectations for the contract signing, but it ended up being a disappointment. The content was not as good. Both men appeared to be telling different stories early, and Page had to tie everything together before the red hot conclusion to his promo. Perhaps the program blew for its best stuff early, but this does not sell their match in the way the previous two interactions did. The cliffhanger conclusion of the show involved the Mask Assistants who attacked Jay White was interesting. Time will tell what any of it means, but Tony Khan has teased an exciting new era in AEW, and one imagines that they may have something to do with it for sure. And yeah, I think a good promo segment. I think the quality in the match will be really high. I was surprised it was the main event, to be honest, but I think for the quality about it, I think it was a really solid way to end Dynamite, and definitely got me more hyped up going into WrestleDream. Overall, AEW Dynamite this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought a really enjoyable episode of Dynamite this week, I have to say. Lots going on, really good contract signing to close the show, some great multi-man matches as well. I think, just in general, MJF White stuff definitely got me hyped for future segments. And of course, the stuff at the end with a little tease, who attacked White and all, etc. That's going to be very interesting. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, just go links, what's going on daily wrestling news and scores and channels, going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.